how to build an easy, fully AFK-able hard concrete maker in Minecraft. These are the resources you will need for this farm. Okay, so the first step to this farm is to place yourself out a dropper, then place yourself out a hopper going into the dropper with then a chest on top of that dropper. And this chest is pretty much how we're going to be supplying yourself with concrete while you're standing AFK. Then what you want to do is break out 3 blocks right here, and then you want to place yourself out a block to the left of that dropper, 2 blocks right here, and then of course 1 block in front of the hopper, and then 1 block right here. So now you should have a little room you can stand inside right here, and then you also want to place yourself out a slab on top of this block right here. So once you crouch, you should be able to stand inside this room. Or if you want to, you can of course build this out of glass instead, but that's fully up to you. So anyways, once you've done that, you will now need to place yourself out 1 redstone dust in front of the slab, then 3 more redstone dusts to the left, 1, 2, 3, 2 going forward, and then 1 going into the dispenser. Sorry, I mean dropper. Then you want to head back here and place yourself out a piston to the left of the second redstone dust. Then you want to destroy the block that's in front and under of the piston, and then place a redstone torch right here. And now what should happen is that whenever we place a block on top of the redstone dust, it should be pushed forward, and we should have a little redstone circuit going right here. Then once you've done that, you want to place yourself out a block right here, and a block right here, and then a temporary block right here. Then you want to place a water source inside these blocks. And then just to quickly show you how this will work, what we will do is pretty much drop concrete inside this chest. You will go into survival, and what you will do is place yourself out a concrete on top of, well, pretty much right in front of the piston. And once you do that, a new concrete will be dropped into your hand. So what you will do is just stand here, place concrete until it's pushed out, pretty much like that. However, we're not done yet because we're obviously going to make this way bigger. Okay, so what you want to do now is go 4 blocks forward from piston. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you want to break out this block and then break out 8 more, so a total of 9 blocks. So we have 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you also want to destroy out the blocks we have right behind those 9 blocks, and then place 9 pistons in the front row right here, with then 9 redstone dusts behind those pistons, pretty much like that. Then once you've done that, you want to place yourself out a row of blocks on top of all of these redstone dust. Okay, so the next step now is to place yourself out a row of 12 pistons going upwards on top of all of the blocks that's behind the block that has piston on it. So pretty much from this block to this block, you want to place yourself out 12 pistons going upwards. So pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you want to do that on the rest of these. Okay, so once you've done that, you should now have a big 12x9 piston wall like this. And what you want to do now is head to the left of what we built so far. And once you've done that, place yourself out an observer right here while looking at the first part of the farm we built. And now we should have a little redstone eye that looks away from what we built, and this little face right here should be looking kind of towards the pistons. So anyways, once you've done that, place yourself out 2 redstone dust right here, then 2 to the left, then place yourself out a repeater right here, then place yourself out another redstone dust going forward, then destroy the grass block we have right here, and then place a redstone dust under here. And then once you've done that, you want to head over here, and then while looking at the first repeater you placed, you want to place yourself out another repeater and then flick that onto 2 ticks, as in tap on it once. And now if you go over here and place yourself a block right here, they should be pushed upwards by these pistons. So anyways, once you've done that, we now need to start on the system that will push the concrete forward. But before we do that, we're going to do one quick step to make this a bit easier, and that is to build ourselves a wall of blocks going all around this concrete maker so far, or all the pistons we have placed pretty much. You don't need to do this, but it will make it look a little bit nicer, and in addition to that, building what we're going to build now, I guess, a teeny bit easier. So anyways, what we're going to do now is head up here, then place yourself out an observer while looking at this block. And now what should happen is that the little face right here should be looking towards the block that you can pretty much place right in front of this piston, if that makes sense. Then what you want to do is head behind here and then place yourself at 2 glass blocks right here, with then 2 redstone dust on top of those glass blocks. And then going from here, you should place a temporary block under that top glass block we just placed. Place a glass block going out from the block, glass block under it, destroy the block, then do that once more by 1 more glass going downwards, then destroy the block. So now you should be able to place 3 more redstone dust on top of these glass blocks, and because glass blocks are half blocks, the redstone should be connecting to each other like it is. So anyways, what we're going to have to do now is expand this glass block by 2 more going downwards to the right. So place a temporary block under that glass block, temporary block, and then 1 last glass block, then destroy those 2 blocks and obviously place redstone on top of those 2 glass blocks. Then after we have done that, we're going to have a quick pause with this and then continue with the redstone behind all pistons. So to do that, head to the bottom right here and then place a row of solid blocks behind all of the bottom pistons, then head 2 pistons upwards, 1, 2, place another row of solid blocks, then continue that, 1, 2 solid blocks, 1, 2 solid blocks, 1, 2 solid blocks, and then 1 last time, 1, 2 solid blocks. Then place redstone dusts on top of all of these solid blocks, pretty much like this. And this is how we're going to power all the pistons and push the concrete forward. Alright, so after you've done that, you should now have something that looks like this. And what we need to do now is connect up this redstone right here, but also make a little automatic clock that we did down here. So anyways, let's do that. So what we have to do now is place ourselves a temporary block going out from this glass, 1 glass going down, and do that once more like that, then destroy these blocks. Obviously place 2 2 redstone dust on top of these glasses. Then once you're done that, expand the glass block we have right there by 3 more going outwards, then 3 more going towards you, like this, and then by 1 glass block going forward like this. Then place a redstone dust right here, 1 right here, 2 right here. Then place yourself at a repeater right here, redstone dust right here. Then while looking at the first repeater we placed, place another repeater, flick it onto 2 tick, like this. Then place yourself at the glass right here, redstone dust, glass on top of the first redstone dust we placed, redstone dust, and then just continue this. So place glass like that, glass on top of that, redstone dust on top of those glass, and then 1 more up. Oh, we don't need that because the redstone is connecting here. And boom, to make sure this works so far, we can place a block in front of this observer. And now most of the pistons should be pushed forward, but not the ones at the bottom, because we still have to build the redstone going downwards. So to do that, let's head back here, then place a glass block right here, redstone dust on top of the glass block, then a glass block pretty much right here, and then 1 right here of course, and then redstone on top of those glasses. So now if you go in front, we can place a block on top of here, and now all the pistons should be pushed forward. And boom, now the farm is actually pretty much done. But anyways, before we end off, what I want to do is build a quick outline of where all the concrete is going to end up, just to make it look a bit nicer. You don't have to do this, but you can if you want. So anyways, to do that, what we will have to do is go from this observer, and then we're going to break ourselves 12 blocks going forward or out from the farm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then simply fill in these with blocks. Then we're going to add in, then we're going to go 1 more out, so 13 in total. Then once you're done that, we're going to destroy blocks until we pretty much get to the other side of this farm like that. So that should be 10 blocks. And now we're just going to break ourselves forward, get rid of this pig until we reach obviously the side of this wall. So pretty much by this outline, we will be able to know that from this corner right here to this block right here is going to be filled with concrete, which is quite a lot of hard concrete. Alright, so now the farm is actually done, and what you will have to do now is simply fill up this chest with whatever concrete you want. Now you can also keep it in your inventory, but to use this farm 100% AFK, I would recommend you place it in this chest. And of course, to make sure you don't get killed by mobs, I would recommend you also place yourself a door right here. And then to use it, let's head into survival mode, grab 1 concrete because we will need to have 1 in our inventory. And then what we can do is simply stand right here, place ourselves a concrete right here, and then just hold down the place button. And as you can see, once they reach the end, they will be pushed upwards. And of course, to show you how this will work, once this reaches the top, which will be a big wall, it will be pushed 1 forward, and then more will continue doing the same. Now, one quick thing to say is that holding down the place button on the mouse can be quite annoying. So if you want to do this 100% AFK in the most easiest way possible, will be to go into settings, then go down to keyboard and mouse if you're using keyboard. Then you will have to go under use item or place block. You will have to click on that, and then simply click on a button that will be easier to use while standing AFK, which for me will be the space button. And that is, of course, I can place something heavy on top of the space button, which will allow me to stand AFK a bit easier. So what I can do now is simply place something heavy on top of my space button, which pretty much like that. So right now I'm not touching my keyboard or my mouse, my hands are off the mouse and keyboard, and I simply have something that's a little bit heavy placed on top of my keyboard space button. And this is allowing me to stand 100% AFK in this farm, as you can see. Alright guys, I've stood AFK for just about a few minutes, not really a few minutes, probably about a minute or two. Oh, and of course I can't open the door, but as you can see we have gotten roughly 3 rows of concrete. But of course, if you want to change these settings back to normal, simply head to keyboard and mouse, go down, and then press reset to default. So anyways, now we can get out of here, go into creative of course, and as you can see, just from that little minute or two of standing AFK, we have gotten a 3 thick wall that's a 12 by 9 wall of concrete, I think, if I said that correctly. But anyways, this is of course a lot of concrete. So yeah, anyways, that is pretty much it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions about how this works or anything like that, feel free to leave them down below and I'll try to answer as quickly as possible. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.